I'll just put on there is a fantastic price coming soon, guys.
No. Just put it in. Yeah. Because like people are coming and going in the price.
That's the pre-order price.
Pre-order price. So just say here's the link for the pre-order price while we're rebooting.
It's rebooted.
Oh, great.
But it's on a new stream. Yeah, we'll put it into the new one. Yeah, I'm just take it for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll all tell them to download Sketch. If they want to draw anything or say this belongs there.
Yeah.
I would make, because now questions are what is. We need to know where. You know?
Yeah. Oh, where? I think we'll end up designing where.
Yeah, sure, but
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, there's very few engineers out there. They just want to know
what's coming.
what's coming in. Are we live?
No.
Yeah, we're live there.
All right.
We're live there. Just
Okay, so we're live on the second feed. All right, so we are just about to load up the pre-order price. This will go to retail at probably.
we're gonna wait till everyone connects back
Oh,
like
okay.
that because you got one feed,
Okay.
one feed.
All right, have a look and see how many are in.
How do we find that new feed here?
Refresh.
Can you see that?
Right. Have you put the link up, Harry?
I don't have a link to that one because it's all on the same page. So you just gotta say maybe refresh to get into the new feed. We've got 4 people. 5. Okay, Jerome's back in. Brian Cox is in. Mark Strange is in.
Hey Mark. I'd be interested in for the guys that have, like Mark, you build your own systems, right? So it's good that you're here, getting all our ideas from us. But it'd be great if you've got some input. Like, what have you learned? What problems are you facing? You know, because ultimately, if we can put this together, and you know, it may be valuable because you have the import from the United States as the problem that you have with the Wash-iT Pro, and the reason you've made your own systems. You told me so. In this case, you know, coming in from China, we can get it in, you know, sideways.
We've got 12 people in.
Oh, good. Yeah, so we're interested, Mark. What are your thoughts? What would you do differently compared to what you're doing now, and how could you improve this if you gave us some feedback? That would be awesome. Good teamwork.
Jaden Logan said, "I thought I lost you."
Yeah, I thought I'd lost me too. 9 o'clock.
Alright, yeah.
Daylight outside here. Like some of you guys who have never travelled the world, turn that camera around, Harry. You'll see, Harry will show you out the window. Yeah.
Daylight.
So we are literally on the other side of the world of, you know, the eastern states of America, and our time is exactly 12 hours difference. So it's just past 9:05 a.m. here.
We're up to
Tomorrow.
14.
Feed's gone again.
You've got it there?
Yeah, I've got it here. So don't listen to me.
So yours, maybe your VPN's crashed there.
It'll just be the speed of your internet, John. My internet.
Great.
Okay, my concerns is in a high TDS area, the particle filter will clog quickly. That's from Jaden.
Okay, Jaden, that's not accurate. The TDS is total dissolved solids. In other words, it's solids that are in solution, not suspension. So you won't measure the things that clog a sediment filter don't affect the TDS. Those are particles that are in suspension. Historically, we've been making the Wash-iT Pro for 4 years, and we've had no issues, you know, across, you know, maybe close to 1,000 units. There's never ever been an issue about having a single sediment carbon filter. The principles of changing it regularly is just business. I mean, you can buy these at Bunnings and Lowe's, the GE 5 micron, you know, activated carbon, you know, 2 for $12, something like that. So you don't need to. You don't need to sort of think about, you know, any sort of financial burden about changing them regularly in order to avoid that issue. But your point about you know, dirty water or TDS doesn't get caught in this filter; it gets caught in the RO or the DI, and particles that are in suspension get caught here and don't affect TDS. Yes. What else have we done that's clever, Bob? Oh, one of the things we pointed about earlier, that If we wanted to make a max 2-pole system, this is really designed to be a 1-pole system. But we do want to remind you that there are other ways to use 2 poles by having 1 pole on tap water and 1 pole on pure. So you don't have to have 2 ROs to have 2 poles working on a commercial property, for example. But if you have a look at this, these are the 20-inch high membranes, and we can design it exactly the same with the 40-inch high membranes as a double system. So we will put out a version that's twice the production.
Mark Stranger said, Liberty pump is better than the Wayne. Cast aluminium compared to cast iron from the Wayne.
Thank you. Mark, the Liberty, right? If you could, Mark, drop us a URL in here for that Liberty pump, that model, and we'll get the dimensions. What we're looking to do, because we don't want to be in the pump business, we want you to be able to supply the pump that you want. So we're going to make sure that there's a cavity here that'll allow that pump to fit in, and hopefully a set of holes that'll match, or at least give you the ability to drill the holes to match the pump that you choose.
For up to 16 people.
Jaden Grant has said your particulate filter is quite small. He had to add an external 10-inch particular filter to his one.
Particle.
Sorry, he meant sediment filter.
Yeah, so if I would disagree that you had to, but because you can change it more frequently or have another one. But the question would be, why would you change it? How did you know to change it? And then the cheapest and fastest way is, because obviously your other one, you can't put them in line and get a different, in series and get a different result. So the one that you added is in front of this one, but it will block just as fast as this one will. So I don't know that mathematically that works. We wouldn't be influenced by that one. Yes. Next.
Josh said, thanks for taking the initiative for educating us, Perry.
You're welcome, Josh. Josh says nice things to us.
Jerome it's total dark in South Florida at the moment.
Aha. Florida is in the dark. It's amazing, right? Can you imagine? Like, we're going to fly across the world. We leave to give you an idea, we leave at 20 to 5 on Saturday, the 17th of September, and we arrive in Kansas City after going through Chicago, and we arrive in Kansas City at 5 minutes to midnight on the 17th of September, right? Because we fly across the timeline.
Eric Gilliand has said, what about the housing for the pump battery?
It won't be a battery pump. This is only for booster pumps. So this will not be one like this. This is a delivery pump, which is a 12 volt, but the idea is just to show you that there's a cavity there. So Eric, this is an answer to Eric's question about what about the battery for the pump. Delivery pumps can be run with 12 volts because they have a push function and they don't have any pressure behind them. In order to boost pressure, it's very difficult if you study pumps to have the impellers of the pump spinning and then have them spin faster. You actually need an amazing amount of power compared to 12 volts. So you'll find that all booster pumps are either 24 volt or 110 volt, and so that's why the industry has gravitated towards the Wayne booster pump, or Mark Strange has recommended also the Liberty booster pump. So where we need to do is actually house the cable, and then if somebody needs to boost the RO. By the way, you never need to boost an RO because you can switch to DI. Like once you understand the industry and just understand that DI is not the devil that needs to be eradicated, you can switch to DI as an alternative if you can't find power for your pump. Yep.
Jerome has said he wants all your air miles, please. And Josh Wickham has said don't forget to stop in Traverse City.
And where?
Traverse City.
Michigan. Yeah, see, because we're driving from Kansas City across to Charlotte. We're actually going through Indiana on the way because George has got a gig there. And we may, if we're lucky, we're trying very, very hard to drive back through Arkansas to go to the Fayetteville Bike Festival on the 25th of September. Right? So we are really, really trying hard to do that. Okay, so has anybody else got any other booster pumps that they've found are good? Mark Strange mentioned that the Liberty is better than the Wayne. I was talking to somebody online the other day. He said the Wayne 1 horsepower is better than the Wayne half horsepower because they get rust issues in the half horsepower.
Yeah, there was someone just said the Wayne pump gets rust issues where the
Right.
Liberty one doesn't because
Right.
it's cast
Right.
aluminium.
And is that Liberty a half horsepower? Did you look it up, Bob? No. So Yeah, so those are the issues on the pump. We want to make sure that the Wash-it Pro is designed to have a pump, so we'll make sure that whichever ones are available, it will make sure that this housing down here can facilitate them.
This is from me. What's the difference in the height between this Wash-it Pro and the previous Wash-it Pro?
Yes, I was going to mention that.
It looks tall because it's on a desk next to it.
Right.
To me, tall man.
Right. A real Wash-it Pro would be about this high. Yeah. So it's a really big difference.
But you're a token short guy.
What can I give as a perspective? Is there anything in here which is a perspective? Maybe a Reach-it Mini. Oh, that one, Bob's got one. So if height was an issue, take the handle out, and we're going to give you different handles, by the way. So if you do need to lie it down on the side, we'll give you the fitting. But there goes a Reach-it Mini. Yeah, so that puts it well in perspective. Yeah, for those of you who've got a Reach-it Mini.
And then where on the Reach-it Mini would the old Wash-it Pro be?
The old Wash-it Pro would be. Somewhere up here.
Whoa.
Because the handle goes above the housing. The housings are twice the height, and then you have the handle going above that, and you can't take the handle off. So yeah, big difference. 33 inches. This is 33 inches high, 15 inches wide, 20 inches deep. And for those of you who didn't tune in before, you can pick it up. That's with the pump in it. It's much nicer without the pump in it.
Yeah, I had a question before
Yeah.
from somebody, and I've forgotten his name, sorry, wanting to know why the change of mind having gauges on this Wash-it Pro where you didn't on the earlier models.
Okay, why do we change our mind and put gauges on this Wash-it Pro? And the answer is, in the Reach-it philosophy, is that basically we've got a reputation now that the people who buy Reach-it are smart, and without the exclusion of the other people that don't buy Reach-it doesn't mean they're not smart, but the people who do buy Reach-it are smart, and they are interested in the education. Like we recognise that our industry has no real educational system that's dedicated and committed. Shall I talk about Reach-it Academy? We've got some really exciting things coming on that. So, and then as a result of that, we believe that we can prepare educational material that you could give to a worker and empower the worker to work their way through the issues which are more complicated, like why would you check the pressure gauge, and then give them all those answers by video, put him through a course so that he gets it, and then he can just watch it and watch it. If he's a slower learner, there are two kinds of people. Some people just hear something and can do it, and other people need to be told 10 times. But whatever you do, don't try and change them after that, because they won't change easily either, so they're perfect for repetitive task work. So if we can give them a learning environment which enables them to watch something over and over again, get it, how it works. Once they get it, they're going to be the master of it, which is something like this they'll have for 4 years to use. And so if we give you an education system around the product and with the product, then we don't have to make it quite so plug and play. It's still plug and play. It's just got a TDS and a pressure meter.
Mark Stranger said a Liberty pump is a half horsepower.
Oh, great. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for being a good sport.
And another guy's just asked, are you saying the future of water-fed poles is pump with lots of jets?
My belief is the future of water-fed. If you have a look at Water-Fed Pole Talk Facebook group, oh, by the way, how many of you are here from Google+? We have a Google+ group called All About Window Cleaning. It's got about 1,100 window cleaning members. We don't see Google+ as a, remind me of that question, John. We don't see Google+ as a social media environment. It's meant to be, for us, we're preparing it as a business media, a place like a repository. It's structured quite differently to Facebook. And we want to be able to have, high quality information available, for people to be able to look through. So you could jump in and join our Google+ group, All About Window Cleaning, formerly known as Professional Window Cleaners.
Okay,
so
so we
jets.
want to know,
Have a look at
pumps and jets the
pumps,
future?
jets, and delivery and tanks. So what is the future of water-fed? The future of water-fed is large number of jets, wide brushes that are light, bristle blades, not pods. So can you throw me a easy brush and a constructor pro brush, just in case nobody. There's an easy brush over there on my desk, beside my desk.
Brian Cox has posted the live feed of water-fed pole category in Google+.
Oh, water-fed pole training?
No.
Water-fed pole category in Google+.
Oh, in Google+. Great. Thanks, Brian. Okay, so, there's two kinds of brushes. This is a traditional broom-style brush. Basically, we drill holes in a plastic block and just jam a staple around them so that they hold in there. But you don't get a wall of bristles from that. Whereas if you have a Constructor Pro brush, thanks, you get a blade of bristles which the water doesn't go through. So that in my belief is we will go to wider brushes with more jets. If you have a look at our new rinse bar, these jets are an inch apart. The new rinse bar, there are 2.5 jets per inch, but the holes are much smaller. But still, if you go to a 20-inch brush, it will have a 20-inch brush across the top could have 50 holes, 50 jets. So that's a lot of jets. So you want more pressure, but what happens is the agitation will be on the up and the down will be the rinse. And then you want the brush over half the width of the window, so you just follow the left frame, follow the right frame, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, off. And that's where you get the $300 per hour and more activity.
Now, Jaden Grant's had a beautiful one here. He really appreciates the educational videos. His guys don't take him seriously until he insists they watch your videos.
Thank you, Jaden. He's commenting on how he's been using our videos. Well, we have got a lot more of that coming. We are totally, I'll tell you what I think of the future. At the end of the day, you can reach any window with any pole, and now you can see poles like the Northern Light coming out, and which is the same as the X-Line, which is the same as the wagtail pole. They're all coming out of like a particular factory. And the issue is that any pole can reach, but the question is, can it increase your efficiency? And if you're just going from traditional to water-fed, maybe it can increase your efficiency, but like the same way as we have for the last 30 years. But what we're focused on at Reach-It is increasing your hourly rate. So we're not trying to attract you to Reach-It Mini because it can reach, a 3-story window. We're trying to attract you to Reach-It Mini and Constructor Pro Brush because we can get you to work 2 and 4 times faster. And so linked into that is our commitment to giving you an education. And we think that ultimately the reason why you'll buy Reach-It over another pole is not because it can reach a window, but because of what we deliver to you as a company in increasing the hourly rate of your workers and giving you a better business, yeah? So you can even fire questions about what you want in the videos if you want to add them here. What would you want if there was a Reach-It Academy? Yeah, like focused only on, how we've got Water-Fed Pole Talk group on Facebook? It's focused. There's never any shit talk on that thing. Right? It just doesn't exist. And the Reach-It Academy is going to be equally focused, disciplined environment on increasing hourly rate, efficiency. That's what we're about, yeah?
Josh Wickham said, when will Reach-It decals be available?
We've got Reach-It decals now. We've got a little sticker pack.
He wants to put a big Boss sticker on the door of his side door of his truck, and another guy TJ Gilbert wants one for his truck as well.
We're going to bring out a Boss sticker, Harry. Well, I promise you we'll make a Boss sticker. We only made this cap with Boss, and we haven't done anything else with Boss, but we love it, and we love that people love it. And the guys that get one understand, look at this. I mean, it's got Reach-It on the inside. And you look at that. There's no, you can't see the embossing. It's beautifully made. We've designed, because Bob is into caps, right? So Bob told us what angle this has to be in relation to that, in relation to this, and everything. So this is actually an engineered cap, isn't it, Bob? It is. Bob knows caps. We were just going to buy those cheap sort of ones for promotional, and I said, we can't do that. Like, we're Reach-It. Like, we don't do that. So, and Luke Smith, the reason why Luke Smith from the UK is on the front banner of Reach-It poles, because he goes, quality cap, quality poles. I thought, yeah, you got it.
Anita Madden would like to know, what is the PSI of the pump?
Whatever you want it to be. We're not supplying the pump. We're not in the pump business. So if you're in Canada, Ghana, Dubai, Australia, New Zealand, UK, South Africa, you're going to buy your own pump. All we're going to do is make sure that there's a housing here for you and a place for its cable so that you can conveniently store that pump as part of make that pump part of the system. Yeah.
I take it Peter Thomas is from Australia. He wants you to make stubby holders as well.
Stubby holders. Well, that's where we got this idea from, Peter. Right. This is a stubby holder with an easy remove can, right?
We have big stubbies in China.
Huh? We have little brown Qingdaos, that's what we have.
Mark Strange wants to know, how do the Chinese RO membranes compare to the Axion membranes?
We are going to test that, Mark, but you could be sure that from an HF4 perspective, you could be sure that they're completely equal, if not superior, because the Chinese market is so, globally, it's the RO sort of company country, but from an ultra pure energy point of view, we don't know. So we've got some we're going to bring some Axions back with us, and we've got some Chinese ones here, and we'll be able to start comparing the performance of them, and that'll be performance versus price. So whether somebody wants them delivered with these ones, and they want to. We've got a drop ship arrangement organised with Axion, so we can just drop ship the Axion membranes directly to you in America.
Brian Cox wants to know, what's the PSI rating of the RO membranes, max working pressure?
Again, it depends which membrane. So Brian's question is, what's the max working pressure on the membrane? And the answer is, it depends on the membrane. Now, if we educate you about membranes, you'll start to not see this as a black box. Yeah? So we'll start to say to you, well, if you've got a pump, you could buy a cheaper membrane because it doesn't. This is the thing, when you see a system with a pump on it, it doesn't need to have an ultra-low energy membrane, and the ultra-low energy membranes are seriously more expensive than the standard membranes. So when you look at the Wash-iT Pro, there's no pump, and most people don't use a pump. That's because we pay for a significantly more expensive membrane to take advantage of its technology. Yes? Maybe.
Are we good?
Yep. The future is like this. The future of pure water systems is a buffer tank, a delivery pump, some sort of remote control controlling over the pump and controlling the supply of power to the pump. So the higher you go, you can increase, whether it's automatically with a Spring Europe type system, or whether it's just with a remote control, you can change the amps to the pump manually. Then you have more pressure available to the brush, so you can have more jets, wider brushes, so you can cover more area, like you would with surface cleaners. Those of you who are familiar with pressure washing, so you'd have a wider surface area, or if you mow your own lawn, you'd have a wider lawnmower for a bigger lawn. So then, and then just a relatively small buffer tank, and then whether you feed that buffer tank with an RO, DI, or whether you feed it with DI only will be the issue about what is the best decision for you as a business, not what is the TDS of your local tap water.
TJ Gilbert wants to know, does it have a place to store his Mini on it for easy transport to a job and site, making less trips back to his truck better? And Neil also wants to know, does it have a Mini holder?
A Mini holder is the question. Do we have a Mini holder? We don't, but we could. Maybe make something that's part of the handle rather than part of the system. So then if they take that handle, they can hang a Mini, like that, and just drop the Mini into it or something.
Yeah,
like on the number 7 clamp or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's only for transporting it, But by the way, just because it's got wheels doesn't mean it should roll, right? We really, really want to encourage you that the wheels are there in case you can't get water to it and you need to take it to water. But it's just if you try it for 2 weeks. So I love seeing the photos of guys. I've got the Wash-iT Pro in the driveway, but I cringe when I do. Right, the photos are great for us for marketing, but I cringe because I go, no, I'm just not sure. Lifting out a 75-pound or more, like with water in it as well. You lift that out of your vehicle for what gain? Like there's no efficiency gain in it. Yes, please tell us what you... Oh.
Jerome said yes, leave it in the vehicle.
Jerome said leave it in the vehicle. So guys, what else?
It's a design meeting.
Yeah, this is a design meeting, and so
And that's the only reason TJ wants it. Leave it in the vehicle.
leave it in the vehicle. That's the way. So everything you want to think about efficiency, time and motion, time and motion, time and motion. Think everything of your business about time and motion, and that's where we want to be in the industry, is helping you get, faster at every point, correcting you when you're wrong, or at least challenging you to rethink what you're doing, so that you really get like small increments, just 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds over a day means more windows. We've got Shim Sudden Millard has taken our daylight extenders. We've already shipped them, but they're basically a floodlight that can light up a 3-story building, and they need they're rechargeable batteries, so there's no power source to them. And the idea is if you get to the end of the day and dusk is hitting, right, then you can continue to work. So we're trying to think everything about your life. How do we make sure you make more money, get more money faster, and not at the expense of the customer, right? Because anybody who puts efficiency into their business at the expense of their customer is ultimately going to experience a kickback.
Dustin Kennedy said, moving it out for me is safety thing in business parks.
Moving it out.
There was a comment just before that in the business parks in America, it looks like they have to take them out of the back of the truck because they can't get the trucks in amongst the buildings.
Yes, agreed.
To operate.
Yeah, so if you're in a park and you're not allowed to take your vehicle into the park for security reasons, that's why we put wheels on it. So we're not saying this should be a wall mount in your vehicle. We're just reminding you not to make that a habit. To be able to use your if you're seriously into commercial work, then there should be a set of paperwork which travels with that job and laminated, or some sort of documentation, or on your iPad or whatever. And part of that should be the system comes out or the system stays in the vehicle, and then the guy using it is already, he doesn't have to think too much, but he leaves it in the vehicle if it suits us, or where the spigots are to clean this building, where the spigots are to clean that building. All of that adds. It costs time the first time you do it, and it adds efficiency every time you do it thereafter.
So goodbye. Peter Thomas is going, thanks guys, great idea, but off to work time for me.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Peter. Yeah. I appreciate how long you've spent with us, Peter.
Josh Wickham said he hasn't looked back since leaving his Wash-iT Pro in his van as much as he can.
Fantastic. Yeah. Don't use the wheels.
Jaden Logan's Grant said, to me personally, it looks like the pump holder is sticking out quite far. Does it need to be that long?
The reason you probably joined us reasonably later is why the pump holder is sticking out so far. It's not just the pump holder, it's the DI tank holder. And this is, if you're running RODI, then you'll be able to use this way. If you're running RODI and DI only, then this, there'll be a housing like this, and then you'll unzip this, and this will be tighter, and you'll be able to put your DI tank in to your system, and it'll work like that. So once you see it like that, it's no longer sticking out very far.
TJ Gilbert said he's already got one mounted in his truck, but he'll buy one of these for mobility is the reason he wants one.
Right, fantastic. Yeah, for those opportunities of mobility. So have you put that link up, Johnny? Did you do that? The link up for this, if you are interested in this system, right, we're going to give you an opportunity. Anybody who watches this video and wants to pre-order one, it'll be I think the retail price will be $18.95, the same as the current Wash-iT Pro, as a full system, including its membranes. Delivered price $18.95, and then if you pre-order it today with a sorry, I just said free freight. Yeah, not only in America. Only in America.
I've just posted it up now.
Right, so you'll see that link. You'll get it for $12.95 delivered price. Yeah.
It's a pre-order.
As a pre-order only, it's got to be off this video, and we're going to take that link down sometime in the next couple of days.
How much is the pre-order?
The pre-order will be $12.95 with a $2.95 deposit. It's around, we're going to leave ourselves, 90 days, Bob? Before Chinese New Year? That's it. Yeah, so by the end of January, we'll have this completely beautiful, stunning, finished product ready for next season.
So how long's this offer open for them?
A day or two. Like, we're flying today and flying, family time tonight and tomorrow, so then we fly the next day. So probably when we hit America, we'll pull it down. There's an advantage for us, by the way. We did the same with Constructor Brush. The pre-orders are really valuable for us. They give us an idea how many we need to make, to be able to satisfy an immediate demand, and then we know that there's people that are brave and trust us, and then there are people who want to watch those people and watch those comments. So you guys that trust us and let us, put a product in your hands that hasn't been in anybody else's hands before. Not that there's anything particularly can go wrong with an RODI system after we've put out Wash-it Pro for so long, but that assists us greatly. Those of you, by the way, that are in the north of America, the north, where it gets cold, you've only got 4 to 10 weeks working season left. If you've been thinking about buying an RO system, push the pause button, because you could run DI only just for 4 to 10 weeks, and then you'll get an idea as to what the savings are that you're going to get from getting your Wash-it Pro.
That's your first system.
This will be, your DI will be your first system, and then you get a Wash-it Pro for next season, and you'll really appreciate what the savings are.
Mark Strange wants to know how you're going to control the waste to permeant ratio, valve or flow restrictor.
This one is still, Mark Strange's question is, are we going to use valve or flow restrictor? And to control the waste permeate balance. Our intention right now, Mark, is flow restrictors, but we have some clever ideas on giving the customer the choice between the 50-50 and the 70-30. So we're trying to work out how to do that, without making it that they have to take it apart and put it back together.
What's the difference in the life of the RO membrane from 50-50 to 70-30?
What is the difference in the life of an RO membrane from 50-50 to 70-30? I don't know, actually. We just know it's shorter, but the benchmark product at 70-30 is called the GE Merlin. So when we were making pure water systems back in 2006, 7 and 8, we were using the GE Merlin frame and short membranes back then, and we were running 70-30 back then. So GE that's the largest company in the world of its type. So we know that 70-30 is acceptable with small membranes, but you just have the cost of replacing them. But if you understand that you're going to go to $200 an hour plus, replacing 2 membranes every 2 years instead of every 3 years or 4 years, for a cost of $400, to me, it's penny wise, pound foolish to try and save the life of the membrane. It's not going to burn them out in 6 months, that's for sure. Yep.
Good comment that John's writing different in the group.
Right. Oh, great. Thanks, John.
Yeah, Neil has said it may mention on the web store that the $295 is a deposit, not the price.
Oh, okay. That's right.
So I've said yes, it is.
Okay, so you better jump in there straight after this, Harry, and say it's a deposit.
Yeah.
That is a deposit only, that $295, not the sale price.
Oh.
Right, it's a pre-order. It'll be $12.95. We just didn't want to put it up there. Billy Half found it and posted it before we broadcast this today, which I deleted. Thanks, Billy. But we had it in there just to take that deposit, but we've
Ulrich has said that it's still so cheap compared to DI.
Yes, but it's not cheap compared to DI when you know that you have to know so much about it. So DI is foolproof. So if you're a real water-fed window cleaner, yes. But that's what I try and discern is, the people that are changing over from traditional, the people that have never been in business before and are starting out, the people that are in soft water areas, the people that are in cold areas that have very short seasons, like up in Canada, some of the seasons are really short, and the maths should be done as to whether you're just better running DI. You can freeze DI, you can't freeze an RO. There's just things that go wrong with RO that's why I want to bust this myth that if your TDS is over, like we've caught people being sold a Wash-it Pro on a TDS of 40. Now that's wrong, right? And we've seen the Ionix Quattro being sold in Melbourne, in Australia, with a TDS of 40 and 50. So there, all over the world, people who don't need an RO are being sold an RO, and I just want to open that up and say that's not cool, and it's not fair, and it's not right. And the only way to do that is, to draw attention to what is RO, educate RO, and then you can make the educated decision when you do your research as whether I've told the truth or not, whether I'm sort of helping the industry by,
Pre-order price was
I mean, it doesn't make me a whole lot of friends by saying it, right? So that's why we kept quiet for 5 years.
Hang on,
Alright,
I'll go.
the product is being updated.
The product is being updated. This is a deposit on, so the sale price is $12.95, the deposit is $2.95, and it's a delivered price. And the retail price will be $18.95 currently, and you know, if we modify that at all, then you'll be looked after. Like nobody ever regrets buying a Reacher. Yeah.
You did say $2.95.
I know, that's really classic. $2.95 is a
Jaden
deposit to get the pre-order price of $12.95. That's what it reads now. That's great. Thank
Jaden
you.
said he really appreciates what you're doing for the industry.
Thank you, Jaden. Appreciate that. I mean, you know, it's difficult for us because, you know, sometimes I get emails from really, really important people in our industry which says, that wasn't really nice. so I go, well, you know, on the other side of it, what you guys are doing is not really nice. Selling 5, 6 fixed length poles to a customer that could have one pole. Selling enough carbon fibre to somebody for 28 stories of building when they only need to clean to 7, and when they could just buy 7 stories of carbon fibre. That's not really nice either, you know? So I kind of, you know, there are two nices in the world, aren't there?
I get sick of hearing stories of people that have got TDSs of 40 and 50 that have been sold $2,000
Yeah,
to $3,000.
yeah, well, that kind of gets under our craw. Like, because when we talk to somebody, they want to buy a new pole, and we ask them about their pure water, their water system, and then we ask them about their water as part of the understanding their business and their needs. And then you hear of somebody with a TDS of 40, 50, 100, you know, and they're just starting out, and then they've got a $2,000. Some of them got $5,000. We saw anyway, we were able to correct a $10,000 sale the other day. So anyway, we're passionate about it because we want to make sure that everybody knows, you know, and that's why people say, like, educated people who want to be educated will buy a Reacher.
Oleg wants to know vehicle mount system and straps, please.
So how would you strap it? This is one of the ones that we wanted to uncover as to how do you want us to mount it? Like, we thought we could put eyelets. You know, if you have a look here. I mean, originally on the Wash-it Pro, by the way, most people wouldn't know what these holes at the front are for. So can you see those?
Can you
That will not happen on the real one, right?
turn
This
it
is
that way,
prototype.
tilt it backwards?
Yeah. So on the Wash-it Pro, there's a plate here, and the filter is bolted here, but there are these two holes here. They were anti-theft holes, so you could chain it, you know, to your vehicle with a bike chain. But we see there's an opportunity to put like an eyelet in here, like weld an eyelet there.
Hold on. Say it again.
So you imagine like a little, what'd you call it, an eyelet? Yeah. Like not a little eyelet, a big eyelet, you know, sort of there, so you could bolt that to your vehicle. But we want to make it somewhere where it's metal, so it's difficult for them to think that they can undo it. But we'd like to know that it's not able to be stolen. I mean,
Connect it up to the battery in the back of your ute.
no, but a lot of chassis have got like bolts in them, and cars and boots, and we call them boots, you call them trunks. You know, they've got threaded holes in them for the mounting of, you know, heavy items and baby seats, and, you know, not baby seats and utes, but or we call them utes, you call them pickups. There, you know, if you know there's a mounting point in a vehicle and you would like to be able to connect to that, then say, hey, if we had this, this, and this, then we would be able to mount it, you know, or run a cable to it, or whatever. Have you had any other thoughts on that, Bob?
So far.
God,
Still
Bob.
morning for you?
2 hours.
2 more hours, and Bob will be going, oh, I got an idea! Like, it's like all energetic.
Don,
Some of us have had about 2 hours sleep.
Don Risingers said, want to see it next to the old Wash-it?
We've been using.
Sold out.
No, but we've got the old Wash-it, but we've dismantled it, and then it's sitting in fabricators' warehouses or factories. So we forgot about that as an idea, but we really know that we should have put it alongside the Wash-it Pro. But Harry, what you could do, why don't you do a little image comparison at some point? You know, and we'll just put a scale of one versus the other and the weight and everything like that. Yeah?
Josh Wickham's saying honesty is always the best policy.
Yeah, for the long game, especially if we're going to be the educators. So, you know, everybody will gravitate back, and that's what we're going to do, is just continue to add value And then the other thing is that if you're wrong, you admit it and apologise, and we're quite happy to do that too. We haven't got everything right, as you guys know.
Jerome said D-rings added too would be good for those wheels, are ideal to secure them with a bike chain.
D-ring is like this, right?
Yes.
With the
bolt through.
the bolt through, like
Yep.
you'd secure
Trailer
a trailer
coupling.
or a boat trailer or
Trailer
something
coupling.
like a trailer coupling, right?
Chain.
Okay, on the axle, yeah, basically saying.
Yep.
So a D-ring and then a chain. Yes.
No, you're just saying. Ask him.
Now we want to know, guys, when you want us to stop, right? Because we're kind of running until the questions run out, or do we just pull up at? We could pull up in 15 minutes. Well, we need to stop at 10 anyway because we've got a train catch. So, and this video will cut out in exactly 17 minutes and self-destruct.
I can go never sleep.
Okay. What else?
Maybe ask how would they mount it in the vehicle.
Yeah. So, how would you mount it in the vehicle? Is Bob's question, because that's once we get how you mount it, or maybe you could put photos into What If It Pole Talk Facebook group about how you mount your Washer Pro now, or your H2 Pro, or your whatever system you've got.
Anytime this is against the wall or laying down.
Yeah, well, one of the things we thought, like if you imagine this, like because with the Washer Pro we have the handle like this, in this case we can lift this, oh, not that one, we can lift this up and turn it around, yeah? So now we can mount it flush, except for the wheels, but you know, close to flush. But maybe you want a spacer, maybe you do want this to come out here so that it's the same out as the wheels, or even a fitting with a hole in it and a recessed nut, so a bolt, so that.
My point is for all the fittings on this side,
Oh, we're gonna.
the gouge and what needs to be flipped. They lay it down, they need different angles.
Yeah.
We're down to about 10 people.
Are we? We're
Yeah,
down
so
to
that it's been
people.
played.
It's dropping. People
You
are.
tell Don
people are
Rissinger,
dropping like
Don
flies.
Rissinger's saying is the pump included?
No, Don, we're not doing the pumps. We're just making a housing area for the pumps. So we want to know which pumps people want, and then we're good to go.
Jerome said the bike chain would run quite well through the hubs of the wheels.
Right, but the hubs of the wheels are plastic, so we want to try and get to steel or aluminum. What else? Are we in wind up?
Josh
Any more
Wickham
questions, guys?
said,
Oh, Josh.
before the show's over, thank you.
Ah, good man. Thank you, Josh. You're a
Sorry,
gentleman.
I'm on intercom.
Oh yeah.
I'd wind up.
Okay. All right. So we're going to wind it up, gentlemen. Thank you very much for being part of it, and we'll see you online if you get an opportunity to pre-order. That's good for us. Otherwise, we will release this sometime in the next 90 days. It'll be the Wash-iT Pro. We're really excited about it.
Is
Yeah.
there any news for Accelerate crew?
Who would ask that? Is Eric?
Jerome.
Any news? We're going to basically. Matt and I and Harrison, we put so much into Accelerate, but we kind of burnt ourselves to a frazzle, and we've decided that that's not possible to continue. So we're going to switch it out to Reach-iT Academy. So you'll find the Accelerate raw files in Reach-iT Academy.
Dustin Kennedy suggested, since the handle comes out, maybe you could put something there to fit as a mounting
Yes,
bracket.
makes perfect sense.
It could, for a non-theft mounting bracket, right?
No,
Oh,
even
simple.
put it down, like have a flat something.
But just take that out and put in the mounting bracket that they can then bolt to the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Duh, great.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That's what this is about.
That's what this is all about. But that's not the anti-theft, right? Is it? Well, it would be actually, because they can't move it. Yeah, if we get it right. Ha. Good, great.
Scott David said hats for everyone.
I'll tell you what, I've got 40 hats left over at the UAMCC National Convention in Charlotte on the 21st, 22nd and 23rd. By the way, I'm keynote speaker on the 23rd, 8 a.m. We're going to talk about ideas, how we manifest products like this, how we as a team work, what language we use, how we deal with, people trying to understand that when we're in design and when we're in execute and all sorts of things. So you'll hear that. But I have 40 caps that I will be taking to the UAMCC National Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, 21, 22, 23 September. And we also have a demo day on the 21st outside up to 60 feet. So we're bringing a Reach It Precision and plus A plus B plus C and a Reach It Mini plus A plus B plus C. So you'll see the plus pole.
Now they only get these boss hats as long as they load a selfie with you as they get their boss hats.
Yeah, they've got to be a Reach It customer. Like there's nobody who has a boss hat that I'm aware that is not a Reach It customer. Like they are uniquely and specifically for Reach It customers. You can buy one if you're not a Reach It customer. They're in our store. So you go to Man Stuff, I think, is it? Yeah. So you go to the store, look at the navigation down the left. By the way, if you're in a different country, you can click on the USD in the top left-hand corner and you can change the currency there. All right, we're going to wind this up. Go to store.futureofcleaning.com, have a look. Or have a look at the link in this thread.
Yep.
Yeah? Johnny, why don't you post it one more time?
Yep.
So it's at the bottom of the thread. And Harris, where else could we put it?
And look, you can follow everyone up on Messenger.
Right, we'll
right
see you
after
on
this,
Messenger.
Like everyone who's joined.
Yes.
Right, we can continue the
Have we
conversation.
made it live
there.
in Messenger, in the Facebook shop, the $2.95? We could do that. Make sure it's live in the Facebook shop. So you click through to the shop from Facebook. You can also
I
grab
look
it.
forward to seeing them on live chat.
See you on live chat. Johnny is there 24/7 almost. Leave your email address so that when we reply, you will get the reply by email.
Just in case I fall asleep.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you really much for your time. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the questions. We appreciate you choosing Reach It. And let's have a fantastic fall season, make lots of money, focus on efficiency. Yeah, get more customers happy. Great. Signing out.